We like playing games with you, dumb detectives. The taunting letter landed on desks across Japan as a child rushed into a Tokyo hospital, convulsing from cyanide poisoning. Inside a popular Glico candy wrapper, investigators found enough poison to kill 6 adults. It was the 8th confirmed poisoning that week. Japan was facing its first corporate terrorist, and they were targeting children. But no one could have predicted how the story would end. March 18th, 1984. Marked the start of Japan's most notorious corporate crime spree. In an affluent Osaka neighborhood, 2 masked men infiltrated the home of Katsuhisa Izaki, president of Glico, one of Japan's largest confectionery companies. The intruders displayed unnerving familiarity with the mansion's layout, moving directly to the master bedroom through a bathroom window Izaki had left open to air out steam. Within minutes, they bound and blindfolded the corporate president. Their movement suggested military precision, no wasted motion, no unnecessary words. They transported Izaki to an abandoned warehouse in Ibaraki Prefecture, demanding 1 billion yen, or approximately $4.2 million. The amount wasn't random. It represented exactly what Glico could afford to pay without triggering corporate oversight mechanisms. 3 days into his captivity, Izaki managed a daring escape. While his captors slept, he worked his bonds loose and fled into the darkness. He found refuge in a nearby house where a terrified resident called the police. By the time the authorities arrived at the warehouse, the kidnappers had vanished, leaving behind only a few lengths of rope and a discarded blindfold. The failed kidnapping was just the opening move in an elaborate game of corporate terrorism. 3 weeks later, security guards at Glico's Ibaraki factory discovered multiple vehicles ablaze in the parking lot. The arson caused millions in damage, but more significantly, it demonstrated the perpetrator's ability to strike anywhere. Then came the poisonings. The first victim was a 7-year-old boy in Tokyo. He survived, but the candy he consumed contained a lethal dose of potassium cyanide. Similar cases emerged across Japan, and while the total number of confirmed poisonings remained relatively low, the psychological impact was devastating. Letters began arriving at media outlets nationwide, claiming responsibility for contaminating Glico products. The writer demonstrated intimate knowledge of food production processes, quality control measures, and corporate security protocols. They knew exactly which products to target, which safety measures to exploit, and how to maximize public fear. The Monster with 21 Faces. The group behind these attacks named themselves the Monster with 21 Faces, referencing a shape-shifting villain from popular detective novels. This literary allusion wasn't coincidental. It perfectly captured their ability to appear anywhere while remaining impossible to catch. Their letters became a masterclass in psychological warfare, written in casual, almost playful language. They mixed regional dialects with sophisticated vocabulary, they mocked police efforts, exposed undercover operations, and predicted investigative moves before they happened. Each letter demonstrated deep understanding of law enforcement procedures, suggesting possible police or military background. The economic impact was catastrophic. Glico sales plummeted by 60% within weeks. Supermarkets across Japan pulled their products from shelves. The company's stock price crashed, forcing the layoff of over 1,400 workers. The damage extended beyond finances. Japan's entire corporate culture was under attack. But the Monster with 21 Faces wasn't finished. They expanded their targets to include Morinaga, another major confectionery company, then House Foods, then Marudai Ham. Each company received similar threats, pay millions, or face product contamination. Each threat demonstrated intimate knowledge of the target company's finances, suggesting deep corporate intelligence. The investigation. Japan's law enforcement response was unprecedented. Over 170,000 officers participated in what became the largest criminal investigation in Japanese history. The case consumed millions of man-hours and billions of yen. Police deployed every available resource: handwriting analysts, psychological profilers, forensic chemists, and surveillance specialists. The investigation revealed the group's extraordinary sophistication. They used an elaborate network of payphones and multiple money drop locations to avoid detection. When police staked out one location, they immediately switched to another. They seemed to anticipate every police move, exploiting blind spots in surveillance and gaps in security protocols. Forensic analysis of their letters yielded tantalizing clues. The writing style suggested someone educated in the Kansai region. Chemical analysis of the contaminated products indicated access to industrial-grade potassium cyanide. The delivery methods pointed to intimate knowledge of corporate distribution networks. The Fox-Eyed Man. A breakthrough came when security cameras captured images of a suspicious individual at several money drop locations. The man, in his 40s or 50s, had distinctive narrow fox-like eyes. This fox-eyed man became Japan's most wanted criminal, but despite thousands of tips and nationwide manhunts, he remained elusive. Behavioral analysts developed a detailed detailed profile. The fox-eyed man moved with military precision, suggesting special forces training. He understood complex chemical processes, indicating scientific education. He navigated corporate environments effortlessly, pointing to business experience. Yet this unique combination of skills led nowhere. Every promising suspect was eventually eliminated. The psychological toll. The investigation's mounting failures took a devastating toll on law enforcement. On August 12, 1985, Superintendent Yamamoto of the Shiga Prefecture Police died by suicide, setting himself on fire in despair over his inability to solve the case. His death marked a turning point. The day after Yamamoto's suicide, the monster with 21 faces sent their final communication. The president of Glico has already gone around with his head down long enough. We are bad guys who have done bad things. We will give our condolences to Superintendent Yamamoto. True to their word, they never sent another letter, never made another threat, never poisoned another product. They simply vanished, leaving behind a changed nation and countless unanswered questions. The aftermath. The case officially went cold. The statute of limitations expired in 1995 for the kidnapping and 2000 for the threats. The monster with 21 faces was never identified. The fox-eyed man was never caught. The true motive remained unknown. The impact on Japanese society was profound and lasting. Companies invested billions in new security measures, the food industry implemented stringent safety protocols, product tampering laws were strengthened. Corporate Japan developed a paranoia about security that persists today. Investigators developed numerous theories about the group's identity, former police officers using inside knowledge, corporate saboteurs working for rival companies, sophisticated crime syndicates testing vulnerabilities, disgruntled employees seeking revenge. Yet none of these theories fully explain the evidence. The unsolved questions. Perhaps the most enduring mystery isn't who the monster with 21 faces was, but why they stopped. Was it genuine remorse over Superintendent Yamamoto's death? Did they achieve some hidden objective? Or did they simply decide their work, whatever it was finished? The case exposed deep vulnerabilities in corporate and law enforcement systems. It demonstrated how a sophisticated criminal enterprise could manipulate media, exploit public fears, and outmaneuver police. The lessons learned led to significant reforms in corporate security, crisis management, and police procedures. Today, the Glico Morinaga case stands as one of Japan's most infamous unsolved crimes, like the literary character they named themselves after. The monster with 21 faces proved to be a perfect shapeshifter, visible everywhere but impossible to catch, leaving behind only questions and a nation forever changed by their game of terror.